Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Talks with Tina. We are pursuing the most true and authentic self by what? Uncovering our roots. Y'all, I will be honest and say this is probably the third time I've started this video over again, but guess what I said? I said, help me, Holy Ghost. And guess what? He did. And we're back. And we're back with clarity. I love it. In the spirit of getting straight to the point, today's topic is, how are you healing? And so what prompted this topic was, y'all, I've been back heavy in my journal. I've been journaling, and I've just been really taking a moment to just be quiet. You know what I mean? Just sit back and really figure out what's going on. So y'all gonna see me pop this little thing up multiple times because in these next few videos, because this has been where I've been going to, right? Which also prompted this topic. So I think I mentioned in the last video that I was just really processing something that happened over the last few weeks, an event that happened over the last few weeks that really challenged me in multiple areas of my healing journey. Like, it wasn't just, I feel like the word trigger is being so loosely thrown around, like trigger this, trigger that, that's a trigger, that's a trigger, that's a trigger. But it triggered me in a way that it really has, like, it almost made me go into a spiral. If I'm being honest, it made me like go into a backward spiral of like my healing. And if you know me, you know I take my healing journey serious. I care for it like it's my baby, because it's me. It is me. I care for this journey that I'm on as because I'm going back to it like I gave birth to it, because I did. It's something that has been instilled in me to make me a better person and better version of myself, that I can't go back. I can't backtrack, because I know what that version was like, and I know the pain and all this other stuff, but I just can't go back. And so things that trigger an area of my healing, it does something to me. Like, I'm just like, why is this so pressing to me? Why is this hurting so much? What is this? And luckily enough, that when I was like in the deep depths of my healing, like when I was really trying to figure some things out, I had this book. And so the beautiful thing about this is where Talks with Tina was birthed. Literally, Talks with Tina was birthed in this book, dating back to 9/18/2020, when I was just out here, dear diary, like this is where Talks with Tina was birthed out of. And I was able to go back to really see how I was healing, and this is how I was healing during that time. Again, you need to talk to people. I suggest you get a therapist if you don't have a therapist, whatever you do, but always, and I'm sure your therapist will make you go write some stuff down. But I started to notice that as I progressed in my healing journey, that, I wasn't doing Talks with Tina as often. I wasn't journaling. I made excuses of, well, I'm talking it out, so it's not as bad. Like, these are my safe voices, my safe spaces, that I'm going to talk these things out, so it's all good, fine and dandy. But I wasn't really, I guess to say, I wasn't really processing completely. And I was influenced by the opinions of others during certain things that I would otherwise write down, right? And so what prompted this topic was, how are you healing? Are you creating an atmosphere that is conducive to the progression of your healing? Are you setting yourself up for success, or are you setting yourself up for failure? Because over here we take up accountability for everything, right? And not to put the blame on yourself, but it's also to say, maybe, just maybe, I could have done this better. Maybe I did slip up here. Okay, I did play a role because I let it go longer. I don't know. But I do take accountability for the actions that I played in a position or in a situation that made me remain stagnant in my healing journey. So I say all of this to say, how do we full circle? Like, how do you make it sense to your life? Make it make sense to your life. How are you healing? Are you creating the environment that is going to help with the progression of your healing? Or are you essentially, what did I call it? I think I did a video about this, and it was like moving with no momentum, because there's nothing pushing it. All it is it seems like you're making progress, but at the same time, when you have no momentum behind anything, you're not really making progress. So I want us to get to a place where we understand that sometimes we can be going with no momentum, and that can hinder you in your healing journey, because if you're going with no momentum, you're simply going off the push of others. And when the push of others disappears, where you at, stink? Sitting there trying to figure out where everybody at. You're trying to figure out where everybody at. So where y'all go? How y'all disappear on me? And so I want to encourage you to find a healthy way to heal that still lines up with the way that you were doing before. You don't ever want to get to a place where you're completely stagnant in your healing journey, because it will cause a regression. There's a beautiful thing called regression. It's not really beautiful, but it's a thing. And if you're not doing anything to maintain with the progress of your healing journey, baby girl, baby boy, baby girl, you're gonna see you facing some of the things that you thought you dealt with a long time ago. But now, how are you approaching it? Have you created an environment that still progresses your healing, or have you become so stagnant in your journey that you say, oh, I dealt with that, I'm good, but when it comes up again, you don't know how to deal with it? Thankfully, because I have this as a reference, I have Talks with Tina as a reference, and I got God, that when I was faced with this issue, it wasn't so hard. I literally watched one of my own Talks with Tina videos and said, wow, that's crazy. It's called Overstaying Your Season. Then I went back to my journal where I was literally thanking God for the progress that I've made. I was just in full gratitude of the different spaces and times that I've entered in. I went from completely heartbroken, literally journaling, saying, this is crazy. I think this transition will be hard, but I'm just praying for the best, you know, boom. Then I'm writing my hypothetical messages of the things that I wanted to say to this person. Then I couldn't because I knew it would lead to an argument or something. So I wrote it down just in case. Then I'm in a different season where Talks with Tina has started. And I'm just like, God, I don't know what is coming after this, because things started to happen fast. But I said, God, just keep me humble and keep me with my eyes feasted on you, God, because this is all you. Then I get to another aspect where God is shifting me and things, and then I feel lost. And I'm saying, how did I get here? I feel like I've misstepped. I feel like I've done this. But I'm able to go back and trace back all of these things. So when these feelings occur again, I have a reference as to what it felt like when I was there, how I made it through, and how now I need to know, how do I keep going? And that is, I don't think that's the chat, but I want it to be the chat. That you have to get to a place to where you know you have a reference point. Find the reference point in your life to where you know where it started, how it was progressing, and now you know how to keep moving forward. Because if you don't have a reference point, you essentially have to start over again. And the problem with starting over again on a healing journey is that sometimes you experience the same pain with no resolution. I'm thankful that I have a resolution to my pain, because like I just told y'all, it could have been a doozy. I could have been repeating the same cycle, the same pain, and the same emotions, but now I'm able to find gratitude in the places that I say, okay, I've overcome this, and this is exactly how I did it. And now I have a reference point as to how to move on. And move on effectively. Not move on, dust it off your shoulders and say, yeah, that's it. No, I know how to effectively move on. I know how to, now I have a reference point. I will have a reference point if I ever face this problem again, to say, okay, when I dealt with this a second time, I was at a different headspace. I dealt with it with maturity, and then I kept pressing forward. I prayed. I did all the above. Then if I encounter it again, I pray that I don't. But if I encounter it again, I have a reference point. I think the purpose of this is to say, get a reference point. How are you healing? Is it going to be conducive to a point of you moving forward in your healing journey? Are you even effectively healing right now? Or are you masking it as just like this surface level healing? And that does nothing for you if you're only surface level healing. Because at the end of the day, you have to get to the root of the problem. Talks with Tina, how do you get to the root of this? And then you move forward. You cut it off. Cut it off at the root. And you keep moving forward. So I think that's the chat. Get you a reference point. Heal effectively. And then move forward in great progression. Not anything that hinders you and holds you back. Take care of your healing journey. It is precious. It is valuable. You are valuable. You are essentially taking care of yourself in the utmost form that you can. And that is by healing anything that could potentially hinder you in the long run, or anything that comes from you, right? Your generations. Heal to be a better person for the people who you're connected to. And I think that's the chat.